Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Guy says quite handsome and brilliant. He's me. See, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase with Picatinny rail adapters to come out to any standard AR-15, like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more and see me shooting a flamethrower. And lastly, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends and your enemies, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast here, Ferrari revealing some details about their first EV. It will have 4 doors and it will have a fake manual mode for all 13 people who would really appreciate that. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Jay Perez, who's a writer at thedrive.com. And he says, quote, Ferrari Electrica EV, 1,000 horsepower, 4-seater with fake manual mode. The multi-year wait to see Ferrari's first EV isn't over, but now we have a few cool, he says, cool details about Morello's next ground tour. Can't pronounce things today, apologies. And there you can see the, I guess that's a ginormous battery and some electric motors for the first EV Ferrari, which will, again, be appreciated by at least 18 prospective buyers. Now, diving into the article, again, credited to Jeff Perez over at thedrive.com. He says, quote, chances are you've forgotten that Ferrari was working on a high-performance EV. Well, how could we, I mean, it's like a nightmare. I was hoping it was a nightmare. I was trying to forget, but no, I remember. He says, I know I kind of did, given that they've been talking about it since before the pandemic and about 35 years ago. Ferrari finally revealed more concrete details today for what's been baptized the Electrica, a high horsepower, high-tech grand tour experience, almost like an electric, I'm going to butcher it, it's Italian. It's Italian above my pay grade. It's like electrified Pergose. Maybe, probably, not really. Now, here's some more pictures of this monstrosity. He says, quote, however, don't fear, because Ferrari hasn't quite revealed the Electra, only its drivetrain specs. We'll have to keep waiting until next year to hear the real thing. Either way, I won't wait much longer for what we do know now. Here you go, 4 electric motors, 2 on each axle with F1-derived Halbach array motors, 1,000 horsepower, 4 seats, 0 to 60 time. No, it says it. All right, 2.5 seconds 0 to 60 time, and 193 mile per hour top speed. Lame. Remember, like 30 years ago, when Ferrari made awesome cars that had over a 200 mile per hour top speed, the iconic Ferrari F40? It's a little disappointing that it didn't have a V12. I think the F50 kind of fixed that. But again, F40 still had a great engine, had a great manual transmission, a symphony of a glorious engine. And again, it iconically beat the 200 mile per hour mark. So now this new car made in 2000, well, it'll come out in 2026. It'll hit 193, which, granted, is still faster than most people will ever drive it. I can't think all 18 of these that sell will probably be in museums or someone's garage, or more likely, people will buy Ferrari. Well, it's kind of like a cult. You can only buy the best Ferraris if you buy all the crap ones. So Ferrari dealers will bully you to buy this so that you can get the chance of winning, the privilege of buying the $6 million hypercar Ferrari makes whatever year that is. And he says, quote, and again, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. So, not to be that guy. However, the Dodge Challenger Hellcat Final Edition, whatever, 0 to 60 in 1.66 seconds. I know it's, apples to oranges, or perhaps that'd be Italian horses to American bulldogs, something to that effect. Pit bulls. There's a metaphor in there. If you squint hard enough, you'll find it. But yeah, so it's going to be a slower. Oh yeah, also Tesla's faster too. I know Ferrari's never been about the performance. Usually for the consumers, it's all about the prestige and the brand. But yeah, a little pathetic. Nevertheless, they say, quote, Ferrari's estimating around 300 to 330 miles of range from its 122 kilowatt battery and 100 volt architecture, which can charge up to 350 kilowatts. And here you see more of the interior, or not the interior, sorry. The powertrain, I suppose maybe that's a pun intended. They say, quote, that's roughly it. Of course, Ferrari released a treasure trove of technical specs and explanations, most of which paint a picture of a highly capable machine. But then again, it's a Ferrari. What else can you expect? A few details stood out to me, including the batteries, which were assembled in-house. Oh, Jesus Christ. Assembled in-house and allegedly the most power dense in the world at 195 watt hours per kilogram. It's not a joke. So Ferrari is making their EV batteries in-house, which again, if you know anything about the history of Ferrari, in terms of what's the most unreliable crap part of the vehicle, many parts, many components, true. However, there's kind of a trend. Electronics usually are some really finicky at best. Ferrari's already known for having pretty bad reliability. It almost makes Ford look reliable in comparison. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. Ferrari has not had over 100 recalls this year like Ford has. But yeah, it's funny that they're bragging about, from a business perspective and tech perspective, it's good to have in-house technologies. It's proprietary. They made it. No one else could rip them off. But who do you think has better battery technology? Ferrari? Stellantis? General Motors? Tesla? Rimac? Or Bob in his garage? I can't help but think I would choose everyone except Ferrari. Even Bob in his garage. I can't help but think probably have more robust reliability EV components than Ferrari. Now, nevertheless, they say, quote, the Electra will also ride the newest version of Ferrari's magical 48-volt active suspension, which was first debuted on the Prozange, and a true feat of engineering. The evolution of the suspension now lives on the F80 hypercar, which, again, the hypercars you can only buy if you get all the crap Ferraris. You gotta collect them all like Pokemon for adults and a lot more expensive. And Italian. They say the system, which has co-developed with Multimatic, ditches the anti-roll bars and employs electric motors to operate shock absorbers and adjust road conditions in real time. You can see that fancy suspension right there with the carbon ceramic brakes, which probably just one carbon ceramic brake rotor right there is worth more than my whole car. Not so much as Honda Civic SI, as much as I love her. They say, quote, then there's the simulated manual, which Ferrari's calling the torque shift engagement, or TSE. TSE isn't quite what you find in the spicy Hyundai N cars, which essentially fully replicates the manual transmission, but it's close. Marleno has added 5 different levels of power and torque that are activated by paddle shifters. Now, they continue. Oh, let's see here. Oh, I love tech issues. Of course, if it wasn't for tech issues, I wouldn't have a job for, well, most of what I do for a living, so I can never be too upset when there are technical difficulties. Now, they say, quote, when under acceleration, pulling the right paddle will unlock the next power level until the top speed is reached. When braking, pulling the left paddle simulates the effect of engine braking. Ferrari claims, per press release, TSE is designed to give the driver, quote, the time of truly savior and resulting acceleration and offering the sensation of relentless thrust. Okay, we're adults. Okay, I'll look over that. Here you see more angles of the EV Ferrari undercarriage, or the subframe suspension. They say, lastly, there's a hot topic that is EV sound. There's always a discussion on whether there should be imitating ice sounds or resemble some more spaceship, or maybe have no sound at all. And everyone seems to have different opinions. While Ferrari is going down a unique path, it appears to be all the above. The Electra will probably amplify the sounds emitted by the electric drivetrain, and nothing more. Instead of typing the fake V12 sounds or some cool soundtrack from its Le Mans winning 499p, it's simply doing what its ICE cars do, take the sound produced by the engine and refining it, then blasting it into the air. This is accomplished via high-precision accelerometer embedded into the rear inverter, so it translates the sounds, vibrations, and other nuances of the electric motors. Then it projects it into the cabin, though the Ferrari did not specify if the is also projected outward, aka like the Dodge Charger Daytona EV. Ferrari also did not share any specifications about the Electra's official reveal date. According to Top Gear, there are chances it might not even call the Electra. Yeah, should probably fix that. Apparently, there's a sort of working project name. In the end, we'll have to keep waiting even longer to find out more details about Ferrari's first EV. Yeah, and I can't help but think, yeah, they're going to lose money on. Oh, and actually, Ferrari charges so much for all of their stuff. They actually might make a profit on EVs, which, historically speaking, only Tesla has done. Every other company has lost money. Granted, controversially enough, you can debate because Tesla does get emissions and credit emissions and other sources of revenue. Understandable. Let's debate perhaps for another time. But Ferrari charges so much for their products, and people are willing to pay so much just because it says Ferrari on it. Maybe they make a profit on their EVs. I'm very, very, very skeptical if they could pull that seemingly impossible task off. And again, you know me. I'm an old school guy. I'm an old soul. My cars will always have 3 pedals, also known as manual transmission, a gas engine. And I can't help but think, You can buy, this would probably cost, maybe $250,000, $300,000, $400,000. If I had to get a Ferrari, which Lord knows that'd be an expensive maintenance bill, whatever Ferrari you get. I mean, shoot, for probably half the cost, I would just get and again, I know it's an apples to oranges comparison because used cars versus new cars. I can't help but think I'd rather get a Ferrari with a V12 and a stick shift like a Ferrari Testarossa, which sounds like a symphony, just glorious, as opposed to this Ferrari EV that might just go, Again, I know it's different strokes for different folks, so to say, pun moderately intended because pistons go up and down, but nevertheless, I'm pretty skeptical. And again, car companies are partially being bullied by governments to make EVs and hybrids. That's a big component of why they're manufacturing them. I do wonder if the government wasn't pushing Ferrari to do this, would they be making it at all? But yeah, the specs, they're not better than the competition. I mean, I'll be very skeptical if this is a viable business product. But as always, let me know your thoughts because I would be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.